Hey guys, welcome back. It's Gareth, also known as Pew Pew Pew, and a few things before we start. As usual, if I sound a bit weird, and it's to be expected, I'm still recovering from New Year's, so that's why, and if there's pauses, it's me drinking my coffee. Second of all, there have been a few additions to the GPC as David left during the mid-season tournament, and Shardy, a good friend of mine, is now joined, so that's good.
You're like, go away. I just want my real friends here.
This week I'm facing Rufus, one of the newcomers to this format, as am I. It was, we sort of spawned a rivalry, and it was very interesting to face him. And if you look at the teams, I have an incredible matchup against him. Every single one of my offensive threats has just basically sweeps his team. That's how beautiful this game is. So I have to play pedal to the metal and just go all out and try and just basically kill him before I get worn down. That was my plan for this week, and the team that I made will reflect that, which you will see shortly. So this is the team matchup. I'll just quickly go over what his mons are: Scissor, Togekiss, Mega Manectric, Shaman, Gudra, Pangoro, Slowbro, Aerodactyl, Magmortar, Kabutops, Gallade. His team has been praised by many, and I thought, looking at it initially, I thought this is a good team, and then I looked at my matchup against it, and it is just a joke, basically, how incredibly well I match up against it. Offensively, I just destroy everything with Hydreigon, Nidoking, and Terrakion mainly. Those are the three big ones, and Mega Scissor for cleanup, because Bullet Punch just wrecks most of his team. Everything aside from Mega Manectric, Scissor, and even Magmortar takes a lot of damage. I think a +2 Bug Bite does 80%, I think it was. I can't remember. But you'll see in the battle that a Bug Bite does a lot. So this allowed me to bring an offensive Mega Scissor for once, which was nice. Even though it still just basically checks Aerodactyl, Kabutops, and his Scissor for free. Then just because it's so bulky. And it's just set up fodder on those mons. That's enough about the team matchup. I will now go on to the team builder and show you that part, so see you in a bit.
Like, that was kind of weird.
So here is the team that I brought. First mon, as always, is Janus, the Mega Scissor. By the way, I like this new team builder thing with the 3D sprites. For once, a more offensive set. I love it. This is by far the most impressive mon I've seen in the draft format from my team, at the very least. It's just defensively brilliant, it's offensively brilliant, it's got momentum switching and everything. But I didn't bring it for that last part for once. You know I love momentum switching, but I don't think I have a single bit on this team, and I think that sort of threw Rufus off maybe a bit. I brought an SD Scissor because it just wrecks basically all his team. And that's as simple as it is. Brought HP Fire to 2-8 KO, even with a minus nature at 2-8 KOs, regular Scissor, and I have enough speed to outspeed base 80s with 12 speed investment, if I remember right. That's mainly for Gudra, because Bug Bite kills, whereas +2 Bullet Punch has a chance to kill after rocks. And I don't like running on rolls, so that's the way it went. Then we have the first appearance of Dark Root Hydreigon. I'm running an Expert Belt set, mixed. Dragon Rush with this investment, straight up kills Gudra. Iron Tail 2-8 KOs Togekiss. Dark Pulse with this investment kills Slowbro after rocks, and well, it's got a chance to kill normally, but it just straight out kills it after rocks. And Fire Blast just Oko's Scissor. And Dark Pulse does a whole load to Manectric as well. This set just basically wrecks his entire team. There are no switch-ins to this. If I get a free switch into this, something dies. It's as simple as that. Then we have Choice Scarf Terrakion. I was considering a Swords Dance set, but the Choice Scarf, I needed something for speed control, and this is the fastest thing I've got. The speed to outspeed Jolly base 100s, like his Shaman, and there was something else which I forget. A lot of his team is base 80 speed, so you'll see in my more bulky spreads like Scissor, I've got a lot to outspeed. That with 16 speed investment. So Poison Jab for Togekiss if I don't want to risk the Stone Edge, and it's also kind of for Shaman. Close Combat because it's the best move, it just hits so hard. And Earthquake for, I'm trying to think what that was for, it was for something in particular. Oh yeah, it was there was it for Kabutops first of all, because if he was weak armor with weakness policy, I didn't want to activate it with close combat. And I can't remember what it was for, something else as well. Then we have a sub Carmine Chandelure. If I get this in on Togekiss, I get a free sub. If he's trying to T-Wave me, then I get a free Calm Mind up. And then I just hit something extremely hard with Shadow Ball or 5 Blast, depending on what comes in. The only thing that can really stop this is Goodra, so if I play around it, I can really damage his team with this set. Once again, enough speed to outspeed, base 80s with 16 speed, bit in defense, rest in HP and special attack, Bodice Nature for just pure power. Yeah, I had the rest in HP and attack there, I didn't go over that. And then we have, if you remember, I used Mesprit to bait and kill, what was it called, Bishop last week. It's going to do the exact same thing this week against Pangoro. Cobbleberry, Dazzling Gleam with this investment straight up kills. T-Wave for speed control, you'll see I T-Wave a whole lot this game. Stealth Rock and Grass Knot was specifically for... Oh, what does he have on his team that this was for? It was for something that's quad weak to it. I can't remember. Oh, it was Kabutops. Just to straight up alcohol, because I didn't have any other grass coverage on this. And Grass Knot with this investment kills it, so... That's that. Rest in special defense, just so that I can use this as a switch in for Magmortar and stuff like that, and get a T-Wave off. Then we have Nidoking with enough speed to outspeed Jolly Magmortar. Rest in special attack. I have Ice Punch over Ice Beam, so I can 2-hit KO Assault Vest Goodra, and plus it's a 2-hit KO on specially defensive Togekiss, even though I have Sludge Wave, but it's just in case, you know, I want to predict a switch out. Flamethrower for Sizzle, and Earth Power just because it's stab. That's basically it. So that's the team builder. If you couldn't tell, I'm going balls to the wall with this one. My only pseudo-defensive one in this game is Mesprit. So I'm basically going whole hyper-offensive, and it's one of those weeks where the hyper-offensive capabilities of my team are really going to show. So on that note, I will see you in the battle. Alright, so here we go. This is the battle. He brought basically what I expected. I didn't really go over what I expected. I expected Pangoro, Aerodactyl. I didn't expect Slowbro per se. I did expect Goodra, I expected Magmortar, and I expected this. I expected there to be Mega Manectric in this thing's place, but there wasn't, so I'm very happy about that, because Manectric was a decent threat to this team. But yeah, I'm more than happy that that thing's not there. Without further ado, let's just hop right in. I'll put the speed back to normal and press play. So first turn, I lead off with Mesprit to get at my rocks. He leads off with Togekiss. I'm predicting the T-Wave, so I go for a T-Wave of my own. And he gets fully powered first turn. This actually doesn't really matter. It just means that he loses a turn. It just T-Waves me next turn instead of this turn. So I get up my rocks, and he T-Waves me this time. I switch out into my Chandelure to get up a free sub and just basically try to set up. He gets fully powered again. That was going to be a defog maybe. Just means that he would have taken a bit less damage onto a few of his mons early on in the game. So it's just basically losing a bit of early momentum in this game. So I set up a sub. He switches a straight hand to Goodra, and that's one of the things that can stop this set. So I just go for a... I tried going for a Carmine because I expected a Draco, but he shows the Earthquake, which means he's more of a physical set, or at least a mixed one. So I immediately switch out here into Mesprit, I believe. Yes, there it is, Mesprit. He goes for a Dragon Tail and misses. It's unfortunate, but it just means that we lose a turn because he switches out, and I get fully powered anyway, so... It would have just meant that instead of him being in Pangoro against this, it would be Goodra against something, and he probably would have switched out anyway if it was basically anything on my team except for Chandelure. Or Scissor. So he goes for a parting shot. I stayed in because I thought he was going to go for a knockoff, and I was going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. Oh yeah, the para that happened... Oh, sorry for scrolling down there, that was my bad. The para that happened on Mesprit there is extremely unfortunate, because if I didn't get parried, his Pangoro was dead there. straight up. It Dazzling Gleam would have killed it, but no. So he parting shots, goes out into Gudra. I do pitiful damage. Here, I think I went for a T-Wave, and he Dragon Tails me out. So that's the damage it would have done earlier, not much. And he Dragon Tails me out into the mon that I want to be in. I go for a Dragon Tail, Dragon Rush, sorry, not wanting to risk anything. It doesn't affect Togekiss, of course. So I go for the Iron Tail, which does solid damage to this. Get the defense drop, doesn't matter at all. He gets his defog off, which I guess is a good thing. If he had Dazzle Gleam, that was the time to go for it. I go for another Iron Tail. It does 10% to this, 7%, there it is. And Dark Pulse just straight up kills it. That was weird, it didn't pop up, but whatever. There, down goes his Slowbro, and he gets a free switch into his Aero. I'm thinking to myself, Sizzle, you're my pride and joy. Oh no, sorry. This time I go out into Mesprit. As he goes for a Tailwind, which is a very interesting set. Tailwind is one of my favourite moves, and he switches out. I just go for a T-Wave on anything. It just so happens that he switches into Togekiss. I get powered anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. And I take this free switch into Nidoking. That's good. I couldn't remember what it was. Sludge Wave is just basically a free hit on anything on his team. It doesn't kill this, which means it's specially defensive. He gets an Air Slash off, doesn't do all too much. That's his full set revealed, I think, with Air Slash, Defog, T-Wave, and Roost, or whatever Roost. So here I just go for the Ice Punch in case he switches out into Gudra. He doesn't, this goes down, and he switches back into Aero. I'm thinking to myself, he needs to gain momentum here to switch into either Hydreigon, Mesprit, or Scizor is very predictable. So I thought he would go for a Rock-type move, so I stay in just in case, and just Nidoking's done his job really. It gets, the only thing it would be useful for would be Magmortar. So I predict him to go for the Rock move. He ends up going for the Earthquake, so I let this drop. And this just means free switch into Scizor, and I can set up a Swords Stance. I should have gone for the Bug Bite, but I didn't. As he gets a free switch into Magmortar, a Bullet Punch only does up to 67%. So I'm not, there's no point on even trying. I go out into Chandelure. Yeah, and I have enough speed to outspeed 0 speed Magmortar, but not 4 speed, and if he has 4 speed or more, then he would outspeed me. And he shows a Fire Punch, which is strange, and I'm kind of confused as to what this set is. And he shows the Earthquake, which I was not expecting at all, and it dropped. Oh yes, and I forgot to mention that between the turn there, when I switched into Chandelure, between the turn where I set up the Swords Dance and god damn it, I switched into Chandelure, Rufus's internet died for a solid hour, and so for an hour I was just waiting there for him to return, which unfortunately didn't happen. And so I get a free switch into Terrakion as the other thing died. Stone Earthquake has but a chance to kill if it's fully HP invested, and well, fully I say 248. And Stone Edge just straight up kills, so I go for the Stone Edge here, and of course I missed. And he hits me with an Earthquake, which doesn't kill, and then he shows the Mach Punch, which kills this, so there goes my Terrakion because of hacks. And that's the thing that you'll see recurring a few times in this. So I go for a T-Wave here, I believe, as he goes into Pangoro. There it is. I go for the Dazzling Gleam, which shows that he was a bulky set, so probably probably like an AV, not AV because that wouldn't have killed, but a banded set, because he was banking really on the Mold Breaker Earthquake that would have supposedly wrecked my team, but clearly it didn't. So there it goes, that's down. He goes into Aerodactyl now. I stay in and go for the T-Wave here because it's my best move to do. He hits a Stone Edge, unlike I did. I can't remember what happens here. He misses a Stone Edge, there it is, that's revenge hacks I guess, but it wouldn't have really mattered, it just would have meant that my rocks weren't up. And down goes Mesprit. I go into Scizor here, go straight for the Bug Bite because this it just straight up kills Magmortar. No, it straight up does that, and Bullet Punch has a chance to kill here, but I don't want to risk it, so I switch straight into Hydreigon. I can take a Fire Punch easy peasy, I can take a Mach Punch from this range. I just go for a Dark Pulse if I remember right. Or do I go for a Dragon Tail? No, I go for a Dark Pulse. And he switches back into Aero, which is paralysed. And I've got a chance to flinch. Going for the Power Flinch, of course. And I don't get it. Down goes Hydreigon, so this match, which could have been a 2-0 or even a 3-0, has turned down to a 1-0. And why is that a bad thing? Simply because he has a better differential than I now, and I'm still sitting in last place. And also because our division is so tight, I have a chance, theoretically a chance to get into the playoffs if we all end up at 4-3-3-4. But if I keep getting 1-0 wins and not higher ones, I'm staying with a negative differential, and there's no way I'm getting back up into the top sort of higher echelons of the division. So that's very unfortunate. I would have liked the 2-0 at the very least, and I would have got it really if Terrakion didn't miss that the Stone Edge, simply put. Because I would have been able to take a Stone Edge with Hydreigon and this would be dead, and I would have been able to finish off the Gudra. So a 2-0 at the very least, maybe even a 3-0 depending on how things went and how I played around the Pangoro. But yeah, it's unfortunate. And here I just set up an SD to play it safe because I can just basically take a hit, easy peasy, go for a Bullet Punch, take this out, Gudra switches in, and it's just it's just dead at this point. It does 80% minimum to a fuzzy physically defensive one, and I get a crit, just sort of rub it in that all the hacks that I got in this game was just it was just basically momentum gaining, if at the very most, and his was game changing. Well, not game changing, but differential changing. So that's all I have for this week. Basically, I beat my rival, which is a good thing, even though it should have been a 2 or 3-0. I'm kind of annoyed at that. But it feels good to not have lost a third week in a row, is that correct? Yeah, it would have been a third week in a row. I'm clawing back momentum here. Next week I face... Who do I face next week? I forget. I know I've got Pierre the last week. Oh no, I face Pierre next week, which is a big game. I have to win that one. And the week after I face Christian, who has a disgusting team, and I don't want to face that at all. But these last two battles I have to win, and I have to win them convincingly. So I'm going to have to bring my A game, as I did this week, and hope to not get hacked out as much as I did. Thankfully though, it didn't change the overall outcome of the game, otherwise I would have been really, really annoyed, and I probably would have ended up breaking my computer. On my headset. So on that note, I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, and that's all for now. Bye bye.